Hi, Dr. Joe here. I want to tell you about why I got interested in arginine because many people have emailed me in recently to say, why are you so hot about the L-arginine? And I wrote a book about this called The Uncommon Doctor to answer this, that many physicians wanted to learn about how I got into it. And of course you can buy it. But let me summarize it for you now. Because at age 37, I had a CAT scan of my abdomen because of some mild abdominal pain. When we looked at this, the radiologist and I had no idea that it was interesting to him only as someone who had tremendous amount of atherosclerosis at a very early age. No cancer or bad things, but I had the arteries of an 80-year-old. This was something that really shocked me because at the time I was very healthy. I had nothing else to talk about except my health. And my father, at age 42, had had a very major stroke, the big stroke that never enabled him to work again. So as I was getting into the concept that I had a big problem, I knew I was headed for some vascular tragedy, just like he was. I was desperate to find something that worked, and I turned to Stanford, which is very close to me, first turning to John Farquhar. John Farquhar is the head of preventative medicine, and with that, I always say that John probably saved my life. He doesn't remember the encounter or the meeting with me, but every time I see him, I thank him for saving my life. The real attack on this whole situation began when I first started working with the cardiovascular research people, Victor Zhao and John Cook. The two of them took me through a lot of their research and looked at all the arginine they were using to reverse atherosclerosis. What a neat thing. I could really get into this. This was something that I was really excited about. With time, I realized that this was the arginine I had used in both my fellowships, my endocrine fellowship. First at Henry Ford Hospital, where I'd used it to stimulate a lot of growth hormone and insulin, and more when I went to UCSF, when I not only did this for a lot of ordinary testing that we do in endocrinology, but I also had a situation where I suddenly realized that if I did it orally, it would be really good. We would have something easier than doing it intravenously. Well, I always joke around that if I had only been smart enough, I would have won the Nobel Prize in Medicine. That's the way it goes. As you can see and know that I became a student of the L-arginine with the 3 Nobel Prize winners in 1998 being my role model. I read through everything, every literature they've done, and must say a lot of it I didn't understand, but it was really important that I could go through the thread of how this would happen. I started myself in all my patients on the arginine, a small amount, in 1991. We had no idea of the right amount, but a little seemed to be better than nothing. And off I went, and off they went. And that was the last time we admitted any patients or sent them out for atherosclerotic problems in terms of what they had from their diabetes. And then I had another CAT scan of my abdomen. How did you do this? The radiologist said. He was looking at me and my old films and the new ones, and there was no evidence of any plaque at all. No calcium. I couldn't understand it. He was befuddled. I was befuddled. This was concrete. How can you get rid of concrete in the inside of your arteries? But it was something that I was very pleased, and therefore I ran out and got a heart scan as quick as I could. And it showed no plaque at all. So with this, I really thought I really got to do something. I've got to figure out how to do this. It's not just magic. It's something more than that. It's science. And so as I attacked all these things, I really tried to figure out what to do. Several of the people who were working with pharmaceutical firms and tried to entice 3 of them to actually make a product that we could use. Who was interested, though, in something you couldn't patent? So none of the pharmaceutical companies cared. I then turned to network marketing. I didn't realize this was an outgrowth of what we now have in terms of YouTube and the like. This is social networking. This is how people pull together for something in a sphere that I had never known, and very important for lots of reasons which I will not go in to at this time. But this is all together now, and I then have found synergy. Synergy has now helped put together the most exciting product I have ever seen. It's not only good for all the things I wish to know about with reference to people who are having need for arterial problems, but we have moved in the anti-aging sphere as well. So as we go through all these things, this is my story. It's something that has been very, very terrifying for me, but a strategic health concept as well. And now that I've gone through it, and you will too, this will be something that you need not be fearful of. We have a situation where the path is clear and there's nothing to be afraid of. It's only going to do good things for you. So this was my story and my time, but now it's your time, and I'm glad we're all here.